Well, it looks as though Marvel's sludge pipe has finally been put on hold, and I can only imagine that will come as nothing more than relief to most of us, at least those of us that actually put ourselves through what has been complete torture when it comes to the MCU throughout Phase 4, and it looks like that's going to be the same way when it comes to Phase 5. And now, Disney Plus are to release fewer Marvel shows, confirmed CEO. On the one hand, I am relieved because it's such trash. On the other hand, Marvel is good for a laugh, and I don't mean laughing at their jokes. I mean laughing at them and their complete incompetence. But there is a reason for this. It's got nothing to do with, oh well, we're focusing on the quality over quantity. Nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that Disney cut $3 billion in content. Because that's what happens when you produce trash show after trash show. That's what you have to do. You have to make cuts. You have to fire 7,000 employees because they continue to pump out shit. And now they're gonna put the brakes on a bit. It's not gonna change nothing though. It just means we're gonna get less trash. That's all it really means. But let's see what this whole situation is about. Marvel Studios will be slowing down its project releases for Phase 5 and 6's MCU series on Disney Plus, as confirmed by President Kevin Feige, who definitely knows what he's doing. The reception of Phase 4 was mixed. Was it mixed? Was it really? Was it mixed, or was it complete dog shit? You know, I would have to go with the latter. Something that's sadly leaking into Phase 5 as well, because the word on the street is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is what we expected it to be. Crap. Absolute shite. Is anybody surprised? No, I wouldn't imagine so. Currently holding a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not too long ago, it was rumoured that in response to these worries from the wider audiences, Marvel Studios would shift to focusing on quality over quantity. They don't know what quality is anymore. The reason why we don't get quality from Marvel is because they don't hire quality writers, or they don't hire any of those. So that's the reason. So unless that's what they're going to change, you know, I don't see any change coming. This meant the company was completely reevaluating its future slate. Not long after 3 specific Disney Plus shows were rumoured to have been heavily delayed. What If Season 2, couldn't care less about that. Echo, you know, that's coming. That's going to tie into Disney Plus's Daredevil series, so that's good. We've got Agatha, Coven of Chaos, whose idea it was to make that. Pretty sure it was a meme on the internet. And Marvel, the Brainiac, they went, oh, Agatha series. You know, who cares about Agatha? Nobody. And, you know, there was a recent one as well. Ironheart unlikely for 2023 release. Oh no. Whatever shall I do? Whatever shall I do without Riri Williams? She was so amazing in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, wasn't she? And Blade got a reset, and Armor Wars became a movie instead of a series. It looks like these changes are truly a sign of Marvel Studios making important adjustments. Well, not really. It's because they don't have the funds. They don't have the money for it. So we're still going to get the same stuff. That's not going to change. You're just going to get less of it. That's all it really means. This idea that, oh, they're slowing down releases, that therefore means they're going in a better direction. Well, no, it just means they haven't got the funds to actually put the amount out that they have been doing. Because it's terrible. Kevin Feige confirmed slower Disney Plus release rollout. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige spoke candidly about the amount of output that the MCU is currently pushing, particularly on Disney Plus, because that's the only way they can get anyone to stay on their platform. They have to release stuff all the time, because otherwise people ain't going to stay. I do think one of the powerful aspects of being at Marvel Studios is having these films and shows hit the zeitgeist. It is harder to hit the zeitgeist when there's so much product out there and so much content, as they say, which is a word that I hate. Yet you've engaged in in just content. And I mean content as in content. That's it. There's no depth to it. It's just content. The MCU producer continued by affirming that the rate at which Disney Plus shows release will be reduced in order to give each individual project a chance to shine. But we want Marvel Studios... There's a reason why I find that funny, but we'll go through his whole quote. But we want Marvel Studios and the MCU projects to really stand out and stand above, so people will see that as we get further into Phase 5... So now we've got to wait till we get further into Phase 5 and 6 for projects to stand out and stand above. The pace at which we're putting out the Disney Plus shows will change, so they can each get a chance to shine. So the reason I find that funny is because every Marvel project that now comes out, as soon as it's over, whether it's a show or a movie, how long does it take for people to stop talking about it? A week. That's all it takes, a week. Again, these projects are just going to be the same shit, just coming out less. That's all it is. After being asked whether this change of pace would mean spacing out the releases of shows or releasing fewer shows a year, Feige responded, both, I think. So the Direct seemed to think that Marvel Studios is changing course, not realizing that it's just because there's been a cut of $3 billion in content costs. That is the reason why. They're not making any other adjustment than they just have less money. Which is quite funny to me, to be honest. The reception of Quantumania truly embodies the rocky road that the MCU is going down, which may worry fans since Paul Rudd's movie came after loads of complaints and feedback. However, it is important to note that any major big changes Marvel Studios might make for the better when it comes to shows or movies won't be felt for a long while. Again, I don't ever see Marvel changing course and actually focusing on quality. I think they're just gonna, put themselves into the ground. That's all that's gonna happen. What we need to see to actually think that there's gonna, when it comes to Marvel these days, I don't really care if it changes or not. We've just been hit with that much trash. It's like, apathy just sets in. It's like, I want your movies to be good. At the same time, I don't really give a shit. I'm just all left out of shits to give when it comes to Marvel. One has to remember that they work on these projects way ahead of time, because that's the smart thing to do, you see. Just pile all this money into stuff. It just makes no sense to me. Many future movies or shows are too far into development to make any sizable changes. Well, no, the only changes that are coming is they're just releasing less trash. That's the only change. The earliest some of these more systematic changes could truly be seen is next year, with either Daredevil Born Again, in which they have a CW writer writing the show, the co-showrunner of Naomi. So, what change are we going to see there? I don't think we're going to see any. Captain America: New World Order, I don't care. Both of which will be entering production in March. Some changes can already be felt, however. 2021 held 5 Disney Plus series, while 2023 will only have 3. They're definitely putting the brakes on. They've got rid of 2. Though fans don't even have an estimated release for any of them, so the debut of the next streaming show is a mystery. Hopefully, well, I believe the first one is not Secret Wars. I don't know, the one with Nick Fury to do with the Skrulls, however that's going to turn out. From what we've seen in the trailer of that show, again, it's a Marvel trailer, it's hard to say. Most of the time we get a trailer that comes across as normal, and it turns out when it actually releases, it's just a bubbling mess. Hopefully Marvel Studios can pull its act together and change course, finally getting more of that positive praise it was so used to. So I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening until, they start hiring people that actually know what they're doing and aren't just complete and utter incompetence. This idea that, slowing it down, that means they're going to be focusing on quality. We're going to give these projects time to shine. Kevin, they got to be good to be able to do that. You can't just release a show. Oh, now it will shine. It's not. It will end, and a week after, nobody's even remembers it existed. So that's what's coming. The sludge pipe has finally been slowed down, and it makes no difference whatsoever.